if you're a Sagittarius born November 22nd to December 21st, what can you expect for the month of July 2019? Let's tune in and find out. So Sagittarius, there's an excitement for you this month around co-creation and around having visions come true and really using something that you already have at your disposal and really being able to generate it personally. Your creativity is high. I feel like it's kind of like you set up shop and everybody wants to come to you. It's like you've got the magic pill. Everybody wants to come to you. I see like there's all these different booths, but everybody's lined up in front of you. So you've got that fun kind of energy, excitement. It reminds me a little bit of a carnival atmosphere where everybody's having a good time and there's this big array of choices, but they all come to your booth. So it's a fun month that way. All right, let's look romantically at Sagittarius. For those of you that are in a coupled romantic relationship, what's in store for you this month? Well, definitely feel there's romance. I feel your partner's open to it. It feels fun. I feel like there's a real lighthearted energy to both of you this month. There may be some things that come down a little bit hard in the middle of the month. That might be around July 16th, full moon in Capricorn, partial lunar eclipse. And that feels like it has to do with your foundation, your home. It could be that you get a little bad news. It could be anything from literally the foundation, like having a cracked foundation, or something like, your refrigerator goes crazy. It could be something a little more in depth where you find out that your kid in school, in college, wasn't really being honest with you and their grades aren't, great, and now they lose their scholarship money. It could be, like a little bit of a financial blow, it feels, possibly. Something that might cost you some money, but it feels like it's a disappointment. The good news is I feel like you have the remedy. Like immediately behind it, it's one of these what I call blessing in disguises, right? Like, oh, you have a crack in the foundation of your house, but thank God we just bought insurance 2 months ago and it covers it, right? It's one of those things. Or your child flunks out of school, doesn't flunk out of school, loses their scholarship, and they go, well, you know what, Mom and Dad, I really don't want to do that anyway. I want to do X, Y, Z, and I've got it all figured out and how I'm going to make money. And so they have chose a completely different life path for themselves. And now you're no longer paying for the college or have to worry about how to pay for it because they've got things figured out in another direction for themselves. So it's like sudden and big, but there is a joy with it. There is a relief with it. And that feels like it's around that full moon in Capricorn, the partial lunar eclipse on July 16th. And these things don't always happen on the same day, but it can be up to a month or even 4 or 5 months on the eclipses. But it definitely feels like it's something big and kind of a little bit of a shock. But as I said, you have the resources to remedy it and rather quickly. So I don't see you sitting in despair because you find out rather quickly. To me that's a couple days, maybe a week, the remedy, and it works out. So it's not a bad thing at the end of the day. Okay, so let's look at for those of you that are single and looking for romance. Let's see what's in store for you. Well, again, there's an excitement. I see very easy for you to be able to connect with somebody, especially around that July 2nd new moon and total solar eclipse in Cancer. Very easy for you to just a meeting of the minds and a connection. So I wouldn't be surprised if you find somebody this week and somebody next week and somebody the following week. There's a lot of romance in the air, especially if you're single. By the first week in August, it feels like there's a more of a settling down and a more of like a rhythm that starts to show up in August with one person. But in July, it feels like, wow, you're just having a good time. Now, for those of you that are romantic, already involved with your partners, I think we talked about that already, that there's a bit of an ease and grace with your relationship and a connection and excitement with one another that hasn't been there for a while. So I like that as well. Let's move into career for Sagittarius. This is, I think I opened with this talking about just you have so many different resources at your disposal, and it's almost like you open up shop and everybody comes to you. Everybody wants you. It feels like you're the one that people clamor for. You have some resources that other people want. I also see reading and writing, education as a big part of this. It could be that you're asked to educate people or to create something new for people, and you've got high creativity, high intelligence, and you're able to do that. And it's also, there's a prestige to it too. So whatever it is that you're writing or creating, it is something that has prestige to it, and it will sell and people will want it. So there's definitely an educational opportunity opening up for you to participate in that is good. Some aspect of teaching or writing or communicating that can make a difference for other people, that you're the teacher or you're the educator in that. Let's look at money for Sagittarius. I feel like there might be big pockets of money this month for you, things that you don't normally expect to get. So whether that's a lawsuit, whether it's a payoff, whether it's finalizing a divorce decree, whether it is someone passed and you've been given a lump sum of money, even lotteries. It could be a debt that somebody owed you and it finally comes off. It could be the sale of a home or the sale of a car, sale of art. But it's definitely something big, and I just see big chunks of money coming in. It could also be a new trend. It could be a new trend in terms of you have a career, a commission-based career, and you're starting to get in big chunks of money, and this is just the beginning of that career and big chunks of money. So see that as well. All right, let's look at your health for Sagittarius. Toes and feet are coming up, so be sure to take care of them. Be sure to notice where you're at. If you go outside, in the dark, make sure you have shoes on. I just see the potential for you to, potentially step on something, right? Cut your foot, that sort of thing. So just keep in mind when you go outside this month, be mindful of where you're stepping. That's all. Be mindful of where you're stepping. And if you're mindful of where you're stepping, you're going to be fine. If you have shoes on, don't walk in the dark barefoot, right? Don't go in the water without shoes on, especially if it's kind of like dark, murky water. I just see that, there's a potential for you to, hurt your feet. So be careful with that. Anything else that would be unexpected for Sagittarius this month? Yeah, there's an opportunity for you to get picked for something that you wanted to do for a really long time, something that was really important to you, that you could get, that could actually happen for you. And this could be anything from a dream trip that you always wanted to go on, that your partner is finally saying, yes, let's go do that, let's spend the money, to something at work that was important to you and that you get nominated and you get that, whether it's an award or a trip or vacation, but it's something that you've always wanted, that shows up for you that you get to do. It could even be, purchasing a car that you've always wanted, a specific style of truck, or, a certain type of designer, that you go out and you get article of clothing or a piece of jewelry, but it's something that you've longed for a long time, and you get it. And whether it's an award or something that you buy for yourself, it is something that you have. Now, case in point, we do have the Mercury retrograde, July 7th to July 31st. So I wouldn't go out and spend a lot of money on anything during that time, cars or anything like that, jewelry. It's a great time to sell things like that, not a great time to buy it, because we can't see everything, right? And so what happens is is what we think we love and we like, then the retrograde ends July 31st. A week later, suddenly we go, oh my God, did you notice that? I never saw that. I don't like that. I don't like how that looks in the sun. I don't like this, the way the curves are here, right? And all of a sudden we are unhappy with our purchase and we can't do anything about it. So just be aware, no big purchases during that time, but before, I think you're fine. Okay, so any last words for Sagittarius here? Yeah, just enjoy. This is a big month, a big heart month, big openings, big opportunities. It's an exciting month for you, and it's a lot of stuff that you have right inside of your heart. It's all you pulling it forward, and there's nothing that you need that you don't already possess. And that's really great. It's really beautiful, and it's really exciting. All right, Sagittarius, thank you so much for viewing and watching. If you like my intuitive astrology, please click like, share it with your friends, comment below. Have a wonderful month, everyone, and I'll see you again next month.